I'm back.
What's up, Tampa Bay? I hope everyone is finding peace, purpose, and new ways to serve in a time when your service is needed more than ever. I'm Chuck Turgeon, the most hype man you will meet on the street, here to get you in the know about tonight's show. Coming up, Michael will be talking about civil rights and politics with attorney and candidate for Florida House District 70, Michele Rayner. And Michael will be discussing service, leadership, and youth development with the collaboration manager of St. Pete Youth Farm, Carla Bristol. Also, our title sponsor, Aero Environmental Services, will dig into the details on the baddest of blood-sucking bugs, mosquitoes. Finally, Sam the Movie Man is back to talk to Tom Hanks about his new World War II naval movie, Greyhound. And now, for your host, the always magnanimous Michael Clayton!
Hey! I told y'all we would get a band, and we're not there yet. What you're hearing are the sounds of the band getting me ready for the show. Listen, COVID has almost impacted almost every business, schools, sports. I mean, unless you're Aero Environmental Services, I mean, you're trying to navigate this new way of doing things. You see, you may see me with my chin held high for the show, and it's not because I'm excited for the launching of Michael Clayton Live. No, it's because I'm trying to hide my haircut. I mean, COVID has impacted even my hairline. I mean, that's right, COVID is no joke. It's taken down not one, but two of my barbers, leaving me to attempt to Picasso my hairline, and it ain't even real. Steve Harvey knows the deal, and then from the looks of it, it ain't going too well. Not too close, not too close. Show my light spots. You know, COVID cases are rising up. My hairline is rising up. And I'm talking, my hairline is moving on up like the Jeffersons. To the north side apartment in the sky. It's cool, it's cool. I'm not too embarrassed. I mean, you know, we all get a little thin sometimes. Plus, you know, we have to look at those who open the doors for us and those who, you know, follow in the footsteps of those who set great examples. You know, for me, that guy was Don Lemon. Yeah, Don Lemon gives me confidence that I can be on TV with a jacked up hairline, because don't his hairline be all over the place? I mean, sometimes, I love Don. And Don is a Baton Rouge native just like me. Don be giving them hell, don't he? Give them hell, Don, and get a haircut. A lot of people are changing their minds about mask wearing now that Trump was seen in his mask one time at his visit to Walter Reed Hospital. Trump said that many people say that it is patriotic now to wear a mask, and that is a move in a positive direction. I mean, lead us, President, lead us. You know, and speaking of positives, I mean, I believe that there are a lot more good things that come from wearing masks. Take, for instance, like if your breath has a little bit of halitosis on it, I mean, you can mask over that hot box, all right? And possibly get a date. You can still holler at her. Or if you only have 3 teeth or too many teeth on the top row, you can mask that mouth up, all right, and strike up a casual conversation with somebody. There are a lot of positives in mask wearing. That is, unless you're Mark Zuckerberg. And this is just proof that money does not buy all things. All he needs now is a black suit, a beret, and a tin can, and he would fit right in down in the French Quarter, wouldn't he? Mark Zuckerberg's face is whiter than the pages in a book. Facebook at its finest. Today we are looking at a hot new movie with Sam the Movie Man. We're talking about mosquitoes, a youth farm, and you'll meet a person who is dedicated to serving our community. Let's get it done.
funny. Look at our neighbors. They're out in their backyard again, barbecuing with friends, and their kids are playing outside.
Well, they use Aero Environmental Services. I would love to go out in our yard more, but every time we do, we get eaten alive by mosquitoes and the kids get bit by fire ants.
Maybe we should call Aero Environmental Services too.
If you want to take back your yard from unwanted pests, contact the folks at Aero Environmental Services Pest Control. With same-day service in most areas, you can start enjoying a pest-free lifestyle tomorrow.
My first guest today is the founder and principal attorney of Civil Liberty Law. She's an award-winning and highly sought-after attorney due to her commitment to pursue justice for her clients. She also has served with the Public Defender's Office in both Hillsborough and Pasco counties before starting her own successful practice. She's been selected as a rising star by Super Lawyers, has garnered many community awards, and is now running for Florida House in District 70. Please welcome Michele Rayner. I was so excited to have you on the show today because, you know, we're at a turning point that can cause a positive shift in race relations in our country right now. Do you feel like we're on a path towards a more positive change?
You know, I do feel that we're on a path towards a more positive change. You know, I always get the question, you know, Michele, this feels different. Does this feel different to you? And it does. And I think that we're seeing a cross section of people, folks who are white, folks who are Black, Latino, underserved folks who have a little bit more wealth or privilege, really understanding like something has got to change. And I've been really lucky. I've had friends from all walks of life, and I ended up being on a call with about 100 women who are from South Tampa, and they were saying, "Oh, do you mind getting on this call with us? We just want to talk through some things." And you know, I've heard folks saying like, "I'm not going to get on the call. I'm not going to be the teacher for, you know, other folks." And I said, "Yeah, let me get on that call, because if you're asking about what can I do? How can I be an ally? How do I check it in my own life?" I think that I want to have that conversation with you. I want to be able to make that connection with you. And so we can partner and walk together, because it's going to take all of us. It's not white folks versus Black folks. It's all of us versus racism.
And committing to that conversation is a great quality for a leader.
Yeah.
It's the actual definition. Now, as a former public defender, you know, what do we need to do to make the justice system more equitable? I mean, it's clearly that we have, in terms of sentencing, that, you know, Black men are, you know, more likely to get sentenced, longer sentences than white men. How do we move that forward?
Well, I mean, it starts in the legislature, and obviously I'm running to be, you know, a state representative, but really it starts with the laws that we pass, because we are bound by the law. You know, judges are bound by the laws that the legislature passes, and I, as an attorney, have to work in the confines of the law. So one of the things I think that we really have to begin to look at is how we're sentencing folks. When we think about mandatory minimums, and we think about how that looks, you know, who gets what sentence versus another. But I also think that we want to start with our youth, because I think that when you think about you know, diversionary programs. Let's talk about wraparound services. Let's talk about, you know, mental health. Let's talk about educational services, and not just, oh, well, we'll give them community service, but what are they learning from community service? What is happening in that realm? So we have to look at the holistic approach. It can't just be one thing is going to be an end all be all to fix what, you know, the inequities in our system. We have to look at it holistically.
Absolutely. Now, as an attorney, Michele, you've provided representation in some of the, you know, highest social justice and civil rights cases right here in Pinellas County. Could you kind of summarize what that experience has been like for you? I know it's a career change, and a lot of people are calling for you to be a spokesperson. What has that experience been like for you?
It's hard to summarize it, but I think that it has just humbled me in a way to realize, just as a greater level, that it's not about you. So in my house growing up, the phrase for everyone in my house, to whom much is given, much is required. So I really believe that I've been placed in this position that I'm in, whether it's representing families through their darkest times, you know, advocating for folks, that if I have the ability to do it, that is what is required of me. Service is the rent that you pay to be on this earth. And I really, truly believe that. That's how I was raised. And I don't take it for granted. I don't even look at it as, a career changer. I get this. It is literally people's lives and the lives of their loved ones are in my hands.
Why exactly did you decide to run for state representative? As a leader in the community, I'm a firm believer that you don't have to get into politics to make a difference. I kind of feel that you more so sometimes have to buy into things that you don't always agree with when you're into politics. And your whole life has been about service from your family. How do you plan on kind of representing your heart as well as the people and the things that are right that can move this country moving forward, getting into the political realm? Why was that your choice to do that?
I know, that's the question of the hour, right? Especially during this time. And I think that we're in a moment that calls for someone that is unafraid, someone that's not going to, go along to get along. We have had a pandemic, and I kind of say we've had two pandemics. We've had a health pandemic, and we've had a pandemic of racism, which has been here since the inception of this country. And what are we going to do about this? Do we need someone that's going to learn on the job, or someone that has been doing this work for quite a long time? So I've started off as a legislative aide to Senator Arthenia Joyner. Then I went to law school. I have my own business, and I'm still advocating as an attorney. And so I think that this moment calls for folks who, all of us together, not just me, but all of us together, to really partner together to create an equitable community, create an equitable state, to make sure that all of us have access to the things that we need to lead thriving lives. And that's why I'm running. And I think that we can look at the leadership specifically within the state, even how we're responding to this pandemic. We need folks that are going to say, absolutely not on my watch. And I think, Michael, you can be principled and still be, effective. I don't think that it's possible, right? I don't think you can be bought or anything like that. I think that you can say, listen, I'm gonna, I'm not a football person, but I think it is. I'm not gonna get you to the goal line, but I'll get you to the
red zone. Get you to the red zone. I like it.
So, but so we can find common ground. And so even if I say, listen, I can't agree with you all the way to, to the very end of your plan, but where can we find common ground? Where can we say we can do this for the betterment of not only the folks of District 70, which I'm running for, but really for all of Floridians? Because when I vote, remember, I don't just vote for District 70. I vote for all of Florida as well.
Right. And there's another saying, I can get you to the trough, but I can't make you drink.
Yes.
Thank you for your leadership in getting us, to the trough. Thank you for blessing us and joining us on Michael Clayton Live.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
After the quick break, we'll share with you an innovative program for adolescents that use farming to teach leadership and life skills. Don't go anywhere.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and to see expanded interviews, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Michael Clayton Live.
This year, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is everywhere. On every sidewalk, track, and trail across this country. All of us are raising funds for one goal: a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. Because this disease isn't waiting, neither are you. Take the first step on your walk right now. Go to alz.org/walk.
For youth, community centers and organizations are a great place where adolescents can be safe, developed, supported, and socialized. One such place in South St. Petersburg with a unique program empowering youth to lead urban agriculture projects to teach real-world business principles while serving the local community. Please welcome to our show, Carla Bristol, the collaboration manager for the St. Pete Youth Forum. Carla, I understand that there are 4 key components to your program. Kind of share with our viewers about what that consists of.
It's a youth leadership program that's based on entrepreneurship, leadership skills. We do character development. We do a fair amount of farming and agriculture, and we're also working on financial literacy every day.
When it comes to leadership, what are the ages that you start at for this youth program?
So it's high school age individuals, so ages 14 all the way up through 18. So if you're about to enter high school, you'd qualify, or if you're in high school.
How does one of the youth qualify?
We in St. Pete have an area known as the CRA, the Community Redevelopment Area. And it's a specific area within St. Pete. If you live in that area, 4th Street to 49th Street, 2nd Avenue North to around 30th Avenue South, and you're entering high school, you would qualify to apply, be interviewed, and then selected.
So we live in a world where we have to be creative about how we teach our youth. And in this day and age, farming is not the first thing that comes to my mind, but it is essential for the stability of a community. Talk about the farm. What do you provide? When will it all be done? And how are the kids interacting with the environment there?
So I could tell you that a year ago when we started on this journey, most people would have thought the same thing. And now, given what we're experiencing with COVID-19, everyone is saying, please, I want to farm in my yard, in my garden, somewhere. So I think what we realize is that a lot of the skills that you use to farm are transferable. And these are age-old skills of learning how to work together, learning how to be patient, because you can't farming doesn't happen overnight. So patience, but what we found in the very beginning is that unless we deal with the whole child, unless we start dealing with areas in their life, personal lives that they need to unpack and do wellness. We do yoga. We have mental health Mondays. We do everything from financial literacy to business planning, business development, and yeah, we grow food.
Yeah, I have to imagine that the impact of COVID has a tremendous impact on your organization. How have you all been able to kind of navigate those waters in terms of the pandemic?
Without giving ourselves a high five, we took that first 2 weeks, which we would have been hosting our first market. And we could have just said, oh, we're hosting, forget it, everything is no longer a go. What we found was the programming we had in place was able to easily transfer onto the Zoom platform. We used the Google Classroom and just immediately started migrating our programming.
Who's to thank? Who does the community thank for putting together a program like this to benefit our youth?
I would say that the calls came from the community. It was answered by organizations like the City of St. Petersburg, Florida, like the Foundation for Healthy St. Pete, UF, IFAS, USF, SUAC, Time Bank, you name it. But it was essentially all these organizations that came together as part of a collective impact to build something that would grow with young people from within the South St. Petersburg area.
From your opinion of your service in the community, is that a typical way of doing things? Do companies usually collaborate for youth in that arena, or is this something unique?
I think it's unique in the sense that when people say a urban farm in the middle of the hood, or, you know, and even the young people, they come and they said, well, we thought we'd be farming more. About 20% of what we do is farming. The other 80% is strictly youth development and character development.
Growing up as an athlete, you know, I remember in college, you know, 18, 19 years old, how it felt to kind of get that pat on the back, you know, from my coaches, encouraging me to be a leader. It's got to kind of feel the same way to these kids at such a young age, having these types of responsibilities on them to actually lead and be decision makers. It's got to be a great experience for them. I'll
tell you that for most of these young people, the conversation are things like, I've never been in a boardroom before, I've never sat at that table, and you'll relate to the coaching. It would be something like, before you go in this room, I need for you to know that your voice at that table matters. They are there for you. I have a job because we're here to support you. So then when they get in the room, it's not this shying away from, if you don't like something that's being said, speak up about it. So that's advocacy. So we're teaching our young people that your voice matters, whether you're in the classroom. How do you advocate to get a better grade? Tell the teacher, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you help me with that? And they're seeing the grades improve, the friendships built, the level of advocacy within the friendships, within school, growing, and within the community, the feedback we get from the parents and guardians.
Well, I must say that my favorite thing to grow are beets and I love them pickled beets.
Really?
So, you know, if
So,
you,
all
if you
right. Well, look.
hook me up.
Right, we might have some Michael Clayton beats coming out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much, Carla, for enlightening us about this innovative program for our youth. When we come back, we'll be on the road again with Arrow Environmental to talk about a blood-sucking bug that wants to ruin your outdoor activities, mosquitoes. We'll see you on the flip side.
Your quality of life is impacted by pests trying to make your home their home.
At Arrow Environmental Services, we keep your family and pets safe from unwanted pests. To learn more, visit arrowservices.com and schedule your free total home pest evaluation today.
Arrow Environmental Services provides effective pest control that improves your quality of life so you can truly relax and enjoy yourself with friends and family.
Did you know that we have one of the most deadliest animals on earth right here in Florida? And I'm not talking about alligators, no, it's mosquitoes. And our good friend Bob Wilgis from Arrow Environmental is out in the field to tell us more. Hello, Bob.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you again. Yes, today we're here on location, and today's subject is about a pest that's common to everybody who lives in Florida. And our lead-in really was to talk about this as the most deadly insect and animal in the world. And joining me on this segment today is John Esquivel. John's been with Arrow Environmental Services for almost a decade, so you are a subject matter expert when it comes to mosquitoes. Tell our viewers a little bit about the mosquito that we deal with all the time here in Florida.
Mosquitoes have been around for about 400 million years, 100 million years here in North America. Mosquitoes can travel up to 2 to 5 miles a day in search for food. Their main food source is the protein from our blood. The females are the ones who bite you and get the protein they need to breed to create more mosquitoes. A mosquito can go from egg to adult in 10 to 14 days, thus creating more and more mosquitoes each day. One of the main factors of mosquitoes around homes are the shaded areas, how much foliage you have around your house. People like to have bird baths around the house. You get water in there, and that's a breeding ground for mosquitoes. They have little kiddie pools they keep the water in the summertime, or for their dog. Dog bowls outside, they like to keep it filled with water. That right there will attract the mosquitoes.
John, we call it mosquito control, and there's a big difference between control and elimination. So why is that a distinction with a difference, control versus elimination with mosquitoes?
Elimination, you cannot eliminate mosquitoes. It's very important. All we can do is control what's around your property. At Arrow, we will maintain your property to make control. Mosquitoes can fly in from other parts, so that's why it's not an elimination. They will land on your shrubs or areas that we have treated, and our products will go to work right then and there to control the mosquito infestation around your home and protect you and your family.
John, a little known fact is that people use all kinds of those bug zappers. They think that's going to attract the mosquitoes to kill them. What attracts mosquitoes to us that makes them want to bite us, especially the female? What attracts mosquitoes to us?
A little bit of bad news for the beer drinkers out there. The ethanol in the alcohol that's the #1 attractant for mosquitoes. So if you're at your home barbecue and you have a glass of wine and you have empty beer bottles sitting there and you're wondering why you're getting bit, and Nana over there's not getting bit, is because you're the one drinking all the beer and you're attracting that scent to them to come. So it's very important.
Before we go, John, we talked about how diseases are transmitted by mosquitoes to humans, but we've got a lot of pet owners watching today, and that's another reason why getting mosquitoes under control is critical. Mosquitoes do pass diseases on to pets.
That's correct. Mosquitoes also carry heartworm, which could be lethal for your dog, your pets there. So it's very important to get the mosquito control.
Well, Michael, that's it from our location shot today. We're enjoying a beautiful day, mosquito-free here at one of our customers' homes. We're going to throw it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Bob and John. I learned so much about mosquitoes today, and we'll have to remember that it's 5 o'clock somewhere for mosquitoes as well. And if you have any questions about pests, log on to arrowservices.com/Michael. We will be right back.
It all can get so out of control. Sometimes you can lose your faith, you can lose your mind, lose your grip, get stripped of your pride till you don't know how you're gonna stay alive. Hey, hey. you.
Sam Hollenbeck is back this week to talk about the new World War II thriller written and starring Tom Hanks on this week's Entertainment Spotlight.
What are we gonna do?
We'll bring hell down from on high.
Tom Hanks evidently has a thing for history flicks, in particular World War II films. Greyhound is his third starring endeavor in this military past. This after Saving Private Ryan and A League of Their Own. It's actually the big screen adaptation of a novel called The Good Shepherd, and it has Hanks as a first-time captain of a Navy ship. It's in charge of a supply convoy that's headed across the Atlantic. These are dangerous waters, my friends, a playpen of cat-and-mouse games with Nazi U-boats, all set atop a Watusi rodeo of skyscraper swells.
Air escort to Greyhound.
This hornet's nest of aquatic ugliness was written by Hanks himself.
This is my first.
Which created its own set of challenges.
I got some.
Most likely a U-boat.
The worst beginning for any project is an actor who's written a screenplay that he wants to be in. Horrifying. No director wants that gig. The director wants to start it, they want to do it, they want it to be their movie.
Trust the both of us! Fire!
Now, if you're not up to snuff on your submarine warfare terminology, Hanks says, not to worry.
Distress rockets, sir.
Eventually you'll know when it says, bring us about and take us down the line. All right. After a while, you don't need to focus on the particulars of that because it means, oh, he's going to turn down and he's going to go right down the middle of the convoy back to that. You figure that out, which is cool. We have hits directly on the convoy.
Much of it was shot in the North Atlantic on the Canadian warship Montreal in January of 2018. Now, other scenes were shot on the former USS Kidd, the Navy's last surviving World War II destroyer, now a museum docked on the Mississippi River in Baton Rouge.
Fires they bear!
Filling in the cinematic holes is a goulash of digital ships and special effects.
Tom Hanks, action scene, U-boat going by, torpedoes, man, this is really exciting stuff.
Giant sets on huge gimbals like this one were perfect for inducing that green under the gills feeling while even high and dry in a soundstage.
Targets disappeared, sir.
Now, Greyhound was originally targeted for a theater release from Sony Pictures, but due to the COVID lockdown,
here they come.
The film can now be seen on Apple TV+. If you like your war films wet and woolly, well, this one may be right up your alley. For Michael Clayton Live, I'm Sam Hollenbeck.